Was just thinking about the there's this movement in America that kind of doesn't want flirting. They're kind of anti. Hey, babe, I'm just thinking about that, and I really think we're seeing it's not just one anti-red-blooded American. The girls want to have the guys look at them, and the guys want to look at the girls, and maybe do some catcalling and whistling and stuff. And that's kind of been a typical thing in America. Good, bad, that's been a thing. But there seems to have been this liberal, it seems to have been this liberal anti-flirting, anti-red-blooded American thing. And I was thinking there's actually two movements that are kind of coming against this. This typical red-blooded American culture thing. I think that there's a phony fake, and this is probably what people like Rush Limbaugh would be complaining about. There are a lot. I guess we could call them, snowflakes is what they're kind of known as. The type of people for what we're seeing on the news from Portland, Oregon. You've got this, okay, well, you can't talk to me about how handsome or beautiful I look because that's offensive and you're just reducing me to a piece of meat. Okay, but then these are the same people that are having sex with like 3 different people a day on a regular basis. So it's like in terms of the traditional moral we think of, they're being quite hypocritical in terms of those traditional morals. It's not like they're all of a sudden being moral for the first time. They have a new standard of their own morals. And there's also, though, this other thing which I would compare to stuff like MGTOW, which is men going their own way. You can look that up. I'm not going to rehash it. But a lot of people are just generally fed up with this over-sexualization of everything. I was watching a clip from Pinocchio, and when he's singing I've Got No Strings, there is so much sexual innuendo. You've got the girls doing the skirt dancing, and Jiminy Cricket turns around, stops being angry, turns around, whoa, takes his glasses off so he can see better or whatever. It's like, this is like for 3-year-olds. And that's what people like myself grew up with, Generation Y, as kids. This sexualization stuff from such an early age. And then we've got MTV, we've got all these beats on BET and MTV, and like everything's about I wanna and it's like everything everywhere is about this stuff. You can't I'm over at Pacific Daily Times. I can't link articles to The Sun, and I've got to avoid the UK Express because those newspapers have just so much soft porn. It's annoying. There's just so much of this sex stuff just thrown at people constantly. And so there's this general movement that you've got a lot of men that they don't want to be whistling at the girls because there's just too much and they're sick of it, and they want to have solid, reliable relationship. And it's not because they're not interested in the opposite sex, and it's not because they don't think that calling people attractive or beautiful is a bad thing. It's been overdone. So I think we've got there's a lot of traditional red-blooded Americans. They don't mind observing being handsome, beautiful, and catcalling and wolf whistling, and they don't mind, and they're healthy and they're happy and with themselves. That doesn't seem to be hurting anybody, generally. But then we've got these two movements. One is this massive hypocritical. They pretend to be moral, but then they've got 2 husbands and 1 wife, kind of, just all this weird stuff. But then they don't want to talk about, don't call me beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go home and sleep with my 2 husbands. It's like, wait a minute. That's not a moral pedestal to stand on. That's just, okay, well, whatever. That's your own new thing. But then we've got people that are just kind of sick of it being overdone. So I think there's not just 2 here. There's 3.